Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of my yearbook thing, but this time I'm going to be talking about the schools I went to. I didn't get to finish it because my mom called me for something and my video ran out. But, continuing on with Lewis Fraser Middle School, I don't remember where I left off, but Lewis Fraser Middle School is it's my hell of a school. Like, I hate that school so bad. It is the worst school I've been to, cause it's nothing like, there's no fun in it. We didn't have fun activities. The principal was mean. The vice principal was even worse, which is rare. Teachers were, complete, complete a-holes. Let's see. Um, it was bad things. My mom almost got killed. Or oofed. I'm not gonna for you two. So yeah, Lewis Fraser made things so stressful for me. Starting with these yonder pops. This will get into my mom getting oofed thing. So, it was our first day of school. My cousins just moved. Uh, Things were all happy and jolly until my first day, and my mom's first day at work. It was new school, new life, new things to get used to. Yonder pouches were the number one thing that I hated. Well, actually, second thing. Um, these things are meant to hold phones. So apparently now schools. So apparently this is a state law in Georgia and half a state law in Texas. It is not a state law where I'm from. Where I'm from in San Antonio, but in Killeen, it's also a state law. Quote, well, sorta. It ain't now. I've even contacted Lucas. He even says he said he didn't have to use those. But yeah. So these things are meant to hold phones, and you need a special magnet to open them. Well, I remember, it was first day. I didn't know my bus. I didn't know what to do. And I didn't know where the magnet was or how to unlock these. And I was told to go to my bus. When I said it, but then where's the magnet so I can open this? Because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going. I was trying to tell it, but no one would listen. The teachers do not listen to you at that school. Well, I was looking for people. I was looking for a magnet something, and they just kept telling me to go to my bus. I found the magnet, but the teachers kept on telling me to go to my bus and hurry up, because apparently it was a bad day for them because they were stressed. They just wanted to go home. I'm not sure why, or why they were always acting so mean. Because I was completely new to the school. But anyways, because these teachers were not welcoming. Some were. Like, I will say, there are a few teachers that I liked, and they were real nice, only because they understood. But the principals, one of the bus drivers, the others were not welcoming at all, because let's when I finally got on the bus, they were like, finally, like, I even heard them. um and I was trying, and I was reaching for my phone, trying to, finally trying to contact my mom and letting her know that, I was heading home. But I got a message from my auntie halfway to my house that, she was asking where I was, and I couldn't, and I tried telling her, asking her what happened, and apparently, my mom almost got shot, because a crazy worker just got in and brought, a pulse reactor, so, to her job. So I was panicking. I was hurrying, because I was also looking for my cousins there, because I was wondering where they were, and I did, because this happened, when I was looking for my bus and my cousins. Like, as soon as I found out, I was like panicking. I was like, oh no. I was trying to hurry home. Like, I literally just got off the bus and looked and went straight to my auntie because she was right by me and my cousins. I was grabbing them, telling them to hurry up and get in the car because I was stressed out. I was worried. I was upset. It was a whole wall of emotions, and I was just super angry. Like, I blacked out until I finally got home, asking her if she was okay, trying to calm down, think about what just happened. Went in my dog's cage with him to just pet him and get relaxed. I'm talking about Texas, by the way, for those who saw my short videos. Yeah, it was just a complete stressful day. And I've hated these things ever since. So after that day, I didn't even this is before I moved to, so I put my backpack behind this, or I put the yonder pouch in front of my phone so that nobody can see it, or because they don't really check to see if we're in there, so I didn't even know if they had like metal detectors or something, because schools do have metal detectors now. So I was like, ugh, freak. So I was just stressed out. So it took me 10 days to finally get over what happened, but yeah, from then on, I kept putting my under pouch in front of my phone and trying to sneak on to make sure I didn't get any bad messages. Now, I only snuck on like after school, during like after school hours, like say they're getting ready to call your bus. I would only, because since we're on school grounds, we're not allowed to call be on the phone still, but I'm glad I left when I did, because apparently my friend Soraya said that they're calling kids property now, like they're property to the school, and I'm like, we're people. So I'm glad I left the school where we are, where school when I did, because they got to the point where we're calling kids property and fighting on the bus or something, like you're still technically their property, and I was like, I've never wanted to break down or tear down a school so bad after hearing that, because we're kids, we're not your things. If anything, you should be our pets, our property, because if it wasn't for us, y'all wouldn't get half the salary y'all have for that school. If it wasn't for our parents too, you wouldn't have half the salary y'all have now. Yeah. And they made us wear uniforms too, which also is pretty annoying. Well, it depends on depends on the type of uniform rules. Like my school, we had a in North Fraser, the school literally had everything. The one thing I hated, so the school had type of clothes uniforms and color uniforms. You're only allowed to wear khaki and navy blue. Now, navy blue is the only blue I hate. I hate that color. It is not my color at all. So you only are allowed to wear those, and it has to be a collared shirt. And for me, I hated every moment wearing those. Like, I felt like I was in prison because of that. Because school is a kid prison. That's literally what it is. Because I don't know one kid who likes school nowadays. And that's a fact. No kid likes school anymore. Maybe they did back in the 80s, but now, school is just a fad. Just a waste of 12 years for some kids who don't even bother to do what they like. We're stuck there for 12 years, and all to get a piece of paper that nobody even uses as much. If it's college, yeah, like that's a perfect use of your time. That paper is important, but high school, like diploma, like no, a piece of paper. Also, another thing, I hate it whenever seniors would come to like other schools to celebrate like like congratulations. You make us stand in a hall, celebrating a waste of 12 years, for a piece of paper. Like, congratulations. Why does that have to involve us? But anyways, back to this Fraser, the uniform thing. When it comes to uniforms, I'm fine if they have like the color deciding, like if you have to wear a red shirt, red or like a certain color. It doesn't matter what type of clothes you're wearing, like collared shirt or anything. Like, I'm fine with that. But but when it comes to like actual type of clothing, that's when I draw the line. Because who wants to wear a collared shirt every day? Like the school is a public school, not a private school. That's the whole point. There's absolutely no point why you should be wearing, why we have to wear a collared shirt like we're in a private school, because it's not. It's not even a military school. It's a public school. Not on the base, not on none of that. But yeah. And I remember, and the vice principal was the meanest principal I've had of all time, because I remember, me and my cousin, she quote unquote told us that she called our parents and told them that our buses were switched and that they messaged us. I checked my phone and I asked my mom, "This is true?" She did. She even said it wasn't, and I made sure that I recorded what she said, and I showed it to my mom, and she said she didn't do that, and when we went back, we still forgot. We forgot that we got switched bus. We had to switch our buses. So when we were looking, our teacher said, "Why y'all?" Or no, the vice principal said, "Why y'all wandering halls? Y'all should be in y'all's classrooms or on your bus." Like, may I remind? And I wanted to say in my head, I said, "May I remind your fat tail that you're the one who told us that our buses were switched, and you didn't remind us, you didn't tell us again, you didn't tell us the number." She didn't tell us our bus number, our route at all. She just told us that the bus was switched. So she got mad at us, thinking we were bad kids, just wandering around the halls, not listening. Mind you, I do everything I'm told. I do what the teachers expect from me. I'm silent. I don't talk to anybody. I don't mention anybody. I don't spread rumors. I don't do none of that crap. But apparently it doesn't matter what the kids look like. It matters on what the teacher's opinion is at that school. So because of that, I almost got suspended. No, I've never been suspended. I've never gotten ISS, OSS, expelled, none of that. I've never been through any of that. But me and my cousins almost got suspended because of that. But lucky for us, I didn't bother saying shit else. Like, I didn't bother saying anything else to her. I've never wanted to cuss, hit, slap, anything at a vice principal so bad. Like, I was holding on by the inch of my finger. Like, the tip of my fingernail. That was how much I was holding on. And I remember my cousin was just calm. Meanwhile, me, I was about to I wish my hair was able to grow fast enough to where it would be like a rope. Because that's literally what I wish it was. Oh, hang on. Alright. Back to the video. Sorry, I had to grab my lunch. But, yeah. The vice principal was a complete a-hole. She was mean. She was aggressive. She was an old lady, basically, so it makes sense to me. When it comes to like angry old lady vice principals, I expect nothing less, literally. Now, however, if it's like calm vice principals who understand what you're going through, yeah. But this principal, no, she is not it. She should be fired. She should be staying at home, chilling with nothing but her feelings. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Now, fast forward. Teachers are also really mean. Well, some of them. There were certain ones I enjoyed having as my teacher. For example, Miss Brown and Miss Wright. Those were my two favorite teachers. Mainly because they were the only ones that were actually nice and I enjoyed having as my teachers. But every other teacher I met, like, I remember I was when I was looking for my cousin, like, a couple of days, like, because I don't know what his last period was, we were parent pickup, and I had to let him know that to come with me. And I was asking every teacher, and I remember the second to last teacher. She was the science teacher. She was a white blonde hair glass with glasses. She was grumpy. She was mean. She was grumpy. She was yelling at me just because I didn't know where he was, or because I was in the wrong hallway. Like, she wanted to go home. I was like, I want to too. I want to also. So if you want me out your face, you can go ahead and tell me where my cousin is. That's what I wanted to say. But in my mind, I just stayed silent and walked away, ignoring her, because she was just grumpy. Apparently, she's one of the meanest teachers in there. Is what my cousin said. So, I, so when I finally found him, I told him, let's go home, and when we walked past her again, she asked, why y'all wandering the halls? And I was like, okay, we didn't even respond. We literally just ran back. She kept talking to us, and we just ignored her. And she didn't do nothing. Like, literally. After that day, I didn't see her again. Like, that was the last time I saw her. But yeah. So Yonder Pouches, uniforms, teachers, and principal were completely annoying. The only the only two things that were good were we had recess, like in middle school. They called it extra time, but we already know it's called recess. And then the second thing, I met Gunnar and Soraya for the first time. They were the two only friends I had at that school. And I made sure they were the right people to trust. Oh, and actually, there's a third thing. The school lunch is actually good. Well, pizza. Well, actually, the pizza was also good. Well, some people who don't like Cece's pizza, you won't like it, but it tastes like, the pizza tastes like Cece's. Like, honestly, I like Cece's pizza sometimes. But yeah, on to the second school, Eastern Hills Middle School. That was a better refresher. Everything I hated about Lewis Frazier was fixed because of that school. Because no uniforms, as y'all can see, no uniforms at all. You can't even see any of them in my closet. Because I remember I threw away every single uniform I had at Lewis Frazier, or sold some of them, or gave some to my cousins. But yeah, no uniforms. However, this was the thing at the next school I moved to. The two worst things about the school were, actually, hang on. One of the things I hated the most about Lewis Frazier, Eastern Hills, was we have to use these now. At my old school, we got to use these, but now we have to use these clear backpacks and still use Yonder Pouches. Now, and the school had metal detectors at the school, so even Audie Murphy had metal detectors. They all had metal detectors to see if we had our phones. I couldn't sneak my phone in behind the thing even if I wanted to. So yeah, that was the problem. Let's see. The IDs, we also had to use IDs. One thing I liked about Vale, when we had IDs, we got to have custom lanyards right here. Like, for example, I have a Commander's one. Oh. But we could also at Eastern Hills. I was a Panther. Lewis Frazier, I was a Patriot. But that's our mascot. But yeah. Not Tom Brady Patriot, like an actual Patriot. But, yeah. That Eastern Hills, I don't remember much. I only stayed there for a couple of months. But, yeah. I sound like a broken record. But anyways, yeah. If I say yeah one more time, I need to come up with a different word. But Eastern Hills was like a nice refresher. No uniforms, but we still had yonder pouches, and we had to wear those. I had a bad experience using those backpacks for the first time, because I remember I had my school laptop and my school Chromebook and library books in there. Somebody broke into my mom's car and stole it, and I almost got charged $500 because they knew what I was seeing. And I was wondering, that PTSD just hit me again as soon as I saw what backpack we had to use, and I was pissed. Pissed. That one. Was worked up. Like, in my mind, I was like, screaming tartar sauce, punching any brick wall I could find, headbutting, through a wooden door, but on the outside, I was like, nice. It's totally not like I was about to get charged $500, like the Chromebook is a Switch 2. Yeah, I was annoyed. What was I gonna say? But moving on. Yeah, that's basically. I don't remember much of Eastern Hills. I will say it was okay school. But one thing though, the person at the front desk that counts your absences was the laziest person I've ever seen. Like, whenever I was absent or had a doctor's appointment, she didn't even count a single one of my notes. Like, my ones that could be excused, she didn't count them at all. She even called my doctor's called, asked her what was up. She said she would change it. She didn't change it. So my mom almost went to jail, and I almost had to go to a whole new family. And if I did, I would have walked back to that school and knocked that person out for doing that. Never got her name or anything. But anyways, to Audie Murphy. Audie Murphy is the school I just graduated from. It's exactly the same as Eastern Hills. It was okay. I felt safe because it was on a military base. Nothing went wrong. Everything was okay. Like, I felt comfortable. However, I did not talk to anybody. I did not make friends. I didn't stay in there. I just chilled. I was a Falcon, so that was the school mascot. The only thing different that made me a little mad or worked up was, apparently you're not allowed to customize your lanyards. You have to use these blue ones, and if you don't, like, if you use a different color one, you get dress coded. Like my cousin Kamari, he wore a different lanyard. He wore a red one because he forgot which one because he left his at home, and the teachers dress coded him like it's a clothing or something, like it's a lanyard. Plus, we have we have these, like, what's the point of having a lunch code if you have this ID now? Like, what is the point of these IDs? Yeah. Also, the hair I had back then. Like, that's what my hair looked like in 6th grade. Yeah, overall, the schools I went to, terrible. Worst part about middle school. Worst thing ever invented is middle school. Besides Vale. Yeah. Overall, I hope y'all enjoyed. See y'all later. I'm gonna get back to eating.